Hi.
Good to see you today.
Good to see you too.
I'm Millie, and I'm going to be working with you today. Did you meet with the front office?
I did.
And so you went over the payment schedule and what happens if you don't miss a
Yes.
an appointment?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Okay. I want to go over just a few things with you. In that the fact that psychotherapy has benefits, but it also has risk.
Okay.
And this also involves discussing unpleasant parts of your life. Therapy has been shown to improve life satisfaction and help with relationships. It assists in solving problems, to very specific problems. This process requires active participation, honesty, and you're only going to get out of therapy what you put into it, and as far as honesty and openness to reach your defined goals. Your awareness to the possibility of being challenged. You might be facing uncomfortable situations.
Okay.
And the hope for change will make this process impactful, if you're going through all the right steps. Your therapist may propose different ways of looking at or thinking or handling situations, which can cause a variety of emotions. And there's no guarantee how this will affect you.
Okay.
Okay. There are some things I need to discuss as far as confidentiality, that whenever you have therapy, there are written records kept, and in those records, they are kept confidential. Anything you say in this office will be held confidential. And for me to be able to share that information, I have to have your written consent.
Okay.
So, and that includes your disclosing treatment information, whether verbal or written, as far as other people are concerned.
Okay.
Certain circumstances limit the confidentiality by law, and those are that if you're a risk to yourself or someone else, if there's a suspicion of child endangerment, elder abuse, or dependent adult abuse. The other situation is that if there's a court order for your therapist to appear in court or to submit a client's chart to the court.
Okay. So you're asking me if I'm suicidal at all or anything like that?
Yeah, well, this is more having to do with confidentiality,
Okay.
that who I can talk to about your treatment.
Got it. You don't have to worry about that. That's not me. Do you mind if I get a grab my drink over here real quick?
Not a problem.
Before we start? Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
You have a right to look at your clinical records at any time except in legal circumstances, or if the therapist were to decide, or if I were to decide it might be emotionally harmful to you.
Okay.
The records are retained for 10 years following the last date of service here. And so we do consult other professionals though, but we don't use your name in any discussions that we might have to get their insight or their perspective.
Okay.
Okay. What brought you in today?
So I feel like I've just been so I'm in a new master's program. It's something I've been really interested in a while. It's a MACP program, Master's of Arts in Counseling Psychology at Simpson University. So I've always kind of been interested in being a counselor, helping people. The ironic part is it's on the heels of a military career. I'm a 21-year veteran from the Coast Guard. I was a helicopter pilot by trade, and kind of wanted to shift gears and do something different. Also helping people, but just in a different way. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like I'm managing my stress really well with the program. I thought it would be a breeze, and I'm kind of surprising myself that schoolwork can be pretty stressful.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that you're finding stress in this that was unanticipated.
Yes.
So, well, I'm looking forward to working with you, and let's see what kind of things we can work together on this. First of all, I want to make sure that you're comfortable. Is the temperature okay? Is the room situation okay for you, where you feel comfortable and chill?
Yes.
Okay.
It's comfortable, thank you.
So if any of that changes, let me know, and
Okay.
we'll try to adapt to do the best we can. So, have you been in any other counseling before?
I've never been to counseling before. It's kind of definitely come from a type A background, kind of a locker room setting, first responder. We don't really talk about our problems, so this is a little uncomfortable for me. And I don't know, what would be your recommendation for someone like me?
Well, you know what we'll do is we'll just start talking about things, and we'll try to make it as comfortable as you can.
Okay.
And if something is making you uncomfortable, just let me know, and we'll try to adjust.
Okay.
Try to do what we can to make this a situation where you feel that you sharing is all right.
Sure, great.
Okay, and I know that it's hard whenever you've always been taught to keep things to yourself, and
Yes.
so it takes a little more effort. And that'll take effort on your part, and that'll take effort on my part.
Sure.
We can do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Team effort.
So I want to know, first of all, why do you think you're feeling overwhelmed right now?
I'm definitely used to more structure. The world I come from is doctrine. That doctrine, before that doctrine is promulgated, is standardized, and then when that's sent out as doctrine or instructions, it's reviewed and reviewed again, and they find the problems or the inconsistencies or incongruencies. And so I think there is some frustration with some of the classes, some of the programs, and it's kind of in Varieties of Spice of Life. I do understand that, but yeah, honestly, even some of the grading criteria and the cutoffs are different from class to class. And I think I'm geared. Go ahead. I think I'm geared towards. Idiosyncrasies catch my eye, and there's been a lot. There's, some of the syllabi say like 2024 on them, or there's the wrong assignments, and not this class, but there's other classes that have been the wrong books. That's been frustrating.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you
Yeah.
like more uniformity between the classes, you like more clarification, and you want to know that things are being done in a definitive way.
Yes, I'm a big fan of standardization. I think it's important. I think it evens the playing field. I think it provides the right expectations for the students moving forward. They know what to expect. I think a lot of my unease comes from the variations in courses and not knowing what to expect.
So what would help you with this situation today?
Well, I was thinking about it, and there's not much that you can do if you don't agree how something's organized. But you can, in my mind, you can change how you interface with that program, or interface with something that you might be too much of an idealist for. I do feel like I'm a little bit of an idealist, like things should be this way, and they're not. I can wish all I want, but that's not going to change things. So it's more so changing my approach to it. So that's where you're the expert. I'd like to see what kind of advice that you have as far as changing my mindset to be more adaptable.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you're realizing that it's going to be necessary for you to make some changes in your thinking to be able to be comfortable and have less stress.
Yes.
Okay. And then in doing that, have you had a situation similar?
I think that might be one of the core issues. I really haven't. I've kind of been indoctrinated in very structured environments, and when there's a lack of structure, that's uncomfortable for me a little bit.
And so, right now, for you to be less overwhelmed, what kind of things do you think would help you?
Do you have any advice for me on that? I'm not sure.
You know, I think sometimes that whenever things are out of our control,
Mm-hmm.
that we have to, like you said, just kind of think about what we can do about the situation, because we can't change other people.
Right.
We can only change what we're doing, or how we're thinking about things, and how to go about making the change ourselves. And so, first of all, how are you doing with your classes? Are you keeping up and doing well with
I'm getting
that?
straight A's.
So you're doing well in class. How about in the rest of your life, in perspective?
Great. The rest of my life looks good. Getting along with the wife well, loving time off, all that good stuff.
So why do you think you're feeling stressed?
It's a change, lack of structure and all that stuff.
So what structure can you impact?
I think it's just more of acceptance. I was looking at a couple things, like acceptance and commitment therapy. It's going to change, like, to talk about values and accepting things that you can't change. And then there's a couple things like dialectical behavior therapy, where there's could be multiple truths at the same time, right? Like,
Right.
so school could be not as organized as I want. I can also come from a very structured background, and I could also interface into an I don't want to say unorganized, less organized enterprise.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you realize that you're kind of rigid in what you're doing right now.
Yes.
And that's making you feel more overwhelmed and more nervous about things, when you, in reality, don't really have a reason to feel.
Yeah, I would say I don't really feel nervous. It's not something I feel. I get just frustrated. Some people get anxious. My dissatisfaction and my apprehension sometimes manifests as just frustration for me in particular. Can you tell me, is that normal?
You know, I think all of us have things that frustrate us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that you're having a normal reaction in that area. It depends on what you do with that frustration.
Okay.
So are you making that frustration go inward and internalizing it? Or are you externalizing it, where you get agitated at people or places and things?
No, it's mostly been inward. I've definitely been agitated at, not agitated, but there's been annoyances and stuff like that. I try my best to be really approachable and a good classmate, a good teammate. I pride myself on being supportive of other people. I guess I hope to just improve my outlook and gain just a little bit more, I don't know, peace with the process, and being more adaptable to change.
Okay, and to try to pull this back into self-care, which we want to make sure that we're having a part of, is what are you doing with that frustration? Do you have a way that you deal with your frustration?
Yeah, so a few things I do. I'm like a big kind of biohacker kind of person, so I know a lot of how a lot of these situations and our moods changes are kind of, it's representative of how our nervous system interacts with the world. So if we're regulated, which I do some things like
So are you getting enough sleep at night?
sleep. I am getting sleep. I'm getting sleep now. I'm doing hot and cold therapy, getting in a cold plunge, getting in the sauna. I I go on walks, kind of mindfulness
So
walks.
it's good for that and good for adrenaline.
Yes.
So those are good things.
Cortisol, kind of keeping that low, eating right. There was a while, a couple weeks ago, where I wasn't sleeping, and it was interesting. It was a kind of a marathon. I couldn't pinpoint why, but I was not sleeping, and the amount of days that went by with probably 4 hours a night of sleep or less I was almost observing an experiment on myself that I did not want to be a part of. And I could see that my irritability was going up, my cognition was going down, my patience was going down, my attention span wasn't as high.
So I hear you saying that sleep is definitely affecting you.
It's not right now, but it was for a while.
Yeah, so you can see that that component makes a big difference, and that kind of adds to frustration even at a later date.
It did, and you know, one thing that helped me out too is just accepting that I could not. I guess I was just like being a little less hard on myself about the sleep. Like, sleep's not happening tonight, it's not your fault. And in turn, giving myself a little bit of grace.
That's great. That's actually a strength when you can stop and look at yourself and go, okay, I'm human, it's okay.
Yeah, that those moments when you're like,
Yeah.
why can't I sleep? And then you end it's kind of a negative cycle, and you're really just kind of being hard on yourself, and that's not going to put you to rest at all. Is there
Right.
some sense to that? Like, I don't know, for counseling, does that make sense to you?
It absolutely does. That, you know, when we're hard on ourselves and when we're taking in and trying to sleep, and, you know, sometimes when people go, I can't sleep, it's self-fulfilling because you can't sleep if you keep telling yourself you can't sleep, because there's a mind-body connection.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, so that will affect your sleep overall. And to, you know, to take in, a lot of times it's easier to put ourselves down or put down the way we're seeing things than it is to be positive about things.
I like that. Well, that sounds good.
Yeah, so tell me more about what's going on as far as how you're taking care of yourself. What are you doing nutritionally?
Eating a bag of Cheetos every afternoon. Just kidding. No, nutrition's fine. I definitely try to eat right. I see some of these younger people in our class, and they can just eat anything they want. I can't do that anymore. Like, if I went on a cruise tomorrow, I would gain like 10 pounds just because I'm not 22 anymore. So to maintain this stasis, I eat steak and salad, and that still just keeps me slightly overweight.
No, it sounds like you do the high protein diet thing, so yeah.
Yeah, but I can't be eating pizza or bags of onions and stuff like that, and that doesn't make me feel good either.
Yeah. So what I hear is you're trying to eat reasonable food.
Yes, I kind of have to. That's kind of, and I just feel better when I mean, I guess it would be a form of self-care for me.
I think so. And then do you do any journaling for your frustration?
No, that's something I've been interested in, but I've never journaled. Do you?
Journal or drawing?
No,
I'm not an artist.
I'm a pilot.
How about something creative?
Creative is helpful for me. So outdoor projects, I like to woodwork and things like that.
So doing something with your creativity and journaling might kind of give you a way to get rid of some of that frustration.
Sure. Yeah.
And help you overall.
Yeah.
So that might be something we might want to add. Just trying to think of, as you're overwhelmed and you're working on these things, what do you say to yourself?
I'm hard on myself. Other than the sleep thing, I'm like, you know, I guess I'm more hard on myself with gratitude. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Like I want to practice gratitude, but sometimes I try to force it too. Like you should be thankful that you're in school, and it's kind of like I don't know, it's the right it's the right message. It's just not the right tone, I would say. Like I should have gratitude that I'm in school and it's a good learning opportunity. But again, like I could go, okay, your frustrations are valid, and again, two truths existing at the same time. Your frustrations are valid, and you should be. And yeah, it is a pretty cool thing that you're doing.
And you know, the shoulda, woulda, coulda
Yeah.
are the death of so many things. And so, how can we turn that around for you?
Yeah. So just kind of accepting things the way they are and putting more effort into how I interact with the world, even though if they're not, if they don't match my ideals, that doesn't mean that it's not a bad thing. It's maybe just more of an acceptance of change and a different pace and growing in a place, growing in a situation that I'm not accustomed to, because I think that's where growth comes from, right?
So, what would help you in doing that?
I would say I like the journaling thing, and just more mindfulness of where I'm at in school, and I'm on a new adventure, and I'm pretty excited.
And you know, with the situation that when you're extremely frustrated and you're sitting in class, do you do any deep breathing? Do you do any
Yes, I'm doing
mindfulness
that.
things?
Yes.
So, what's your favorite of those?
I like breath work.
Breath work.
Yes.
Which one?
Right now I'm just doing box breathing.
Box breathing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because there's that, and you know, there's also that doing tapping. Are you familiar with tapping?
Yeah, I just don't want to look like I have a mental disorder in class.
Yeah, just you know, doing it maybe on your lap on
Okay.
opposite
Okay.
legs might
Yeah.
help.
Sure.
You know, some of the fidget type things sometimes
Okay.
might help, just to kind of have something that's kind of taking away that frustration and
Sure.
try to help you through each class.
Sounds like a good plan.
So, well, I think we've discussed some of the things that why you're overwhelmed because of the situation not being clarified and having uniform and standard procedures
Sure.
and things in between classes. I also hear that you are doing some very good things, that you are stopping and thinking about it and trying to come up with concepts that will help you with that.
Yes.
I hear that you are doing self-care and that you are taking care of nutrition and sleep and
Yes.
now we've added some things for you to have a plan to journal or do something creative to kind of work out some of that frustration.
Yes.
And then actually when you're actually in the class that's frustrating you, then you can do some breathing, some tapping,
Sure.
and also taking you know, fidgets and things like that will help. And so I look forward to working with you. And
Me too.
if you have any questions, please let me know, and we'll look forward to next session.
Okay. Thanks, Millie. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye bye.